Understanding the relationship dimensions have to each other can help conceptualize higher dimensions, like time. Here, we have a zero-dimensional point. It has no space, length, width, and height, and no time. Here, we have a one-dimensional line. Its one dimension is length. It consists of two 0D points defining its bound, but contains potentially infinite 0D points within it, and so can also be visualized as. Here, we have a two-dimensional square. Its two dimensions are length and width. It consists of four one-dimensional lines defining its bound, but contains potentially infinite one-dimensional lines within it, and so can also be visualized as. Note that the square isn't comprised of any one-dimensional line in particular, and diagonal lines from A to C, B to D, or any combination can be an example of one one-dimensional line out of the infinite lines comprising this shape. This will be important for understanding time. From the one-dimensional perspective, a smaller line appears inward from the larger one, with lines connecting the ends. We can interpret that the smaller line is further away than the larger line, but perspective forces it to appear to us as smaller and inward. Here we have a three-dimensional cube. Its three dimensions are length, width, and height. It consists of 6 two-dimensional squares defining its bound, but contains potentially infinite two-dimensional squares within it, and so can also be visualized as. In the two-dimensional perspective, a smaller square appears within the larger one, with lines connecting the corners. We can interpret that the inner square is further away in the third dimension than the larger square, but perspective forces it to appear to us as smaller and inward. Here, we have a four-dimensional hypercube. Its four dimensions are length, width, height, and time. It consists of 8 three-dimensional cubes defining its bound, but contains potentially infinite three-dimensional cubes within it, and so can also be visualized as. From the three-dimensional perspective, a smaller cube appears within the larger one, with lines connecting the corners. It can be interpreted that the inner cube is further away in the fourth dimension, time, but perspective forces it to appear to us as smaller and inward. And so our perspective of looking at time from the third dimension may be responsible for the direction of time we perceive, and why from this perspective time flows in one direction for the observer and not the other, A to C and not C to A. This shape or timeline only has a single outcome and path it can follow, A to C, and so is deterministic in nature. This timeline can also be represented using dots, zero-dimensional points, as placeholders for the different cubes, frames in time, which make up the timeline. Here we have a 5-dimensional 5 cube. It consists of 10 4-dimensional hypercubes defining its bound, but contains potentially infinite 4-dimensional hypercubes within it. This can be represented as. Between A and C are potentially infinite hypercubes. Since each hypercube can be represented as a line, timeline, we can then represent this 5-dimensional 5 cube as, where each timeline consists of potentially infinite 3-dimensional cubes / frames in time. Just as a 2-dimensional square isn't comprised of any 1-dimensional line in particular, this 5-dimensional 5 cube isn't comprised of any 4-dimensional timelines in particular, and directions from any starting point to any outcome are possible. This allows for multiple outcomes to be possible, and so is not deterministic in nature and allows for free will. The analogies for the dimensions follow up to 3 dimensions in time at least, totaling a minimum of 6 dimensions. Going above 6 dimensions can become convoluted and confusing as to where and what these dimensions would be. Some have suggested there is at least one more set of 3 dimensions, or possibly infinite, which lie outside of what is conceivably relevant to human existence. While 5 dimensions allows for all potentialities and possible outcomes to exist within our universe with its starting conditions, set laws of physics, Stacking multiple 5-dimensional universes perpendicularly above each other gives a total of 6 dimensions, which allows for all potentialities within all timelines of every possible universe, with differing laws of physics to our own, to exist. This allows for the existence of universes and timelines with differing starting points and conditions to the one we live in, and encompasses everything that is fathomable to humans.
The 6th dimension that allows for all possible universes and multiverses with differing starting points to our own allows for anything we can imagine to be possible. Any starting conditions, outcomes, possibilities, and anything we can conceivably imagine exists here. This is the heavenly realm where all things we can ever have desire for become possible. Truly anything imaginable exists here. These dimensions reside within a containment of their own, which, in the case of there being a total of 6 fathomable dimensions, is a 7th layer of existence that all things conceivable to humans reside in and stem from. This 7th layer is the most fundamental element of human existence and is referred to by some as the All, the Source, the Absolute, God, Allah, and many other names. It is the conceivable absolute, a single, unified, all-encompassing existence and awareness. It is everything, and there is nothing that it is not. It is that of which all things are a part. The 7th dimension is the conceivable containment of everything and the source of consciousness itself. It is the conceivable all. 7 is a number that surfaces frequently in belief systems and reality itself. The 7 chakras of Hinduism, which correspond to the 7 colors of the light spectrum in physics, the 7 factors of enlightenment in Buddhism, the 7 heavens in Islam, and the 7 days of creation in Christianity and Judaism. These can be interpreted as corresponding to the 7-dimensional structure of the conceivable universe. The dimensions can be interpreted as analogous to the all-encompassing absolute, or God, creating the universe in 6 days, representing the first 6 dimensions, and resting or residing on the 7th. In Islam, these dimensions can be compared to the 7 heavens, described as layers of existence ascending one above the other. However, Islamic tradition holds that Allah's throne is not the 7th heaven, but above it. And so, within this interpretation, God isn't up in the sky, but up in the dimensions. As the 7th dimension, God is all-encompassing and omnipresent because God is everything, seen and unseen. While different belief systems describe these ideas in different ways, they can be viewed as pointing toward the same underlying structure.